righty. Well, hey, everybody. Happy Aloha Friday. And someone's going to do an intro. Who is that? Who we got on the show?
Oh, well, I don't have the intro right in front of
Okay.
me, but
Well,
I know who Jake is from
No.
Skyta Roofing, Construction, and Solar. He is an expert in the solar industry, and I'm so excited to have you back, Jake, and sharing with us all the new updates that are very important for our viewers to understand.
And did he do any of that stuff at your house?
Oh, yes.
What did he
And
do?
you know what? And they are always following up and continuing to serve me. I think just yesterday they were out just checking on the system. There were some things that were like unusual. So the Skysa team came out and they're like double checking and troubleshooting. So they've been super helpful and professional and accountable.
Yeah. So, Jake, tell us about who you are. How did you end up in the islands and how did you end up in your industry?
Well, I grew up on about a 4,000-acre cattle ranch, so I'm a country kid, and I left all the little baby calves in the middle of COVID. Believe it or not, my family was just like, hey, COVID hit, our cattle are worth nothing, because people at that time thought COVID could be caught by anything that was mammal that had that had COVID because everything that happened. And so my dad said, find new work or work for free. And I had an opportunity to come out and work here in Hawaii in the solar industry, and have been here ever since. So 3 years coming up this summer.
All right.
Yeah.
And Jake, share with us a little bit about the history of Skyta and why you chose to align yourself with this company.
Yeah. So originally when I came to Ireland, I recognized that there were over 300 different kinds of solar companies that were in existence here before 2015. And then Hawaiian Electric ended up cutting the NEM program, where you could just have solar panels on your house, sending power to Hawaiian Electric for them to store. And that ended up ending. And so all of the companies basically shut down. Every aunt and uncle ended up having to find new work. And there was about 15 to 17 companies left. And Skyta was one of them. They were not just in the solar business. They were a licensed contractor with roofing. And that's where they started doing a bunch of business, was in the roofing world. So I knew that 1 out of every 5 homes that I was originally talking to, 1 out of 5 homeowners want solar but can't because they can't pass a roof inspection. And so I wanted to work with a company that was local, that was owned locally, that was operated locally, where there's high accountability. And if someone had a problem, they would call, talk to a local number, and be with somebody here where they could get serviced. And so that's how I ended up at Skyta, as they wanted me to be a part of their team to help expand Skyta here, both here in Maui as well as in the Big Island of Hawaii.
So they're not one of these companies that's just like a pop-up company that's here today, and then like, where are they in 5 years when you need their help? Like, they've been around in the community.
That was a big issue.
Local family that's started it and has grown this business.
Yeah, that's right. And it was started by locals, and we're right there behind Costco and Kapolei out there. And so you can come see the office, see our faces. We're super friendly, and we're right there local to be able to service the island. And we have offices on each island. So it's a huge perk to, as you guys know, it's technology. Solar's technology. It's not if there's things that happen, it's just when. And you want to make sure that you don't join what we call the solar orphan crew. 8 out of every 10 solar systems on a roof are what we call solar orphans, with the original company or the original producer that installed it out of business. So that's a huge part of our business, is taking in and adopting all these solar orphans.
So the question is, what's the difference between the green shirt, blue shirt, and pink shirt people?
There's sales. It's sales in blue, green is our install, and everything else is ownership and leadership. And then
some guy randomly walking on the beach popped in the photo.
Yeah, and then the little kids somehow made their way in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Local, because I know this backdrop is probably Colina, but
Yeah.
yeah. So having this stuff installed, it's not you put it up there and it's going to be lasting for 1 or 2 years. It's up there for 10, 15, 20 years, and you want to still know that your company is still around. Let's talk about, so what's the latest for motivation for people with existing solar and people who want to get it brand new?
Yep. So all the people that are probably watching as homeowners, you guys have gotten an email from Hawaiian Electric or an actual physical piece of paper that says the word battery bonus on it. Hawaiian Electric is incentivizing everyone, whether you have a system on your house or you want to add a brand new system with batteries onto your house. There's a battery bonus program that they're doing, which is still open. It's not going to be open forever. They opened it at the end of last year, or mid-year last year, and they're going to open it and keep it open until it fills. It is filling fast because it's the first time Hawaiian Electric has said, hey, we want you to put batteries on your house and we're going to pay you to do it. So a lot of customers call and ask about the battery bonus program because they want to take advantage of what Hawaiian Electric is doing by incentivizing people, both, like I said, who have solar or want to get solar, can both be a part of that program.
So Jake, you and I were talking like last week about some things that are going to be changing with how Hawaiian Electric customers are being billed. Let's talk about that and why it's like this is a great time to get the solar in anticipation with this change.
Yep. So there is a there is a new announcement came out. It was on, of course, the KHON2 news, the local news, and it reads the biggest change in a century, 100 years coming for Hawaiian Electric customers. So many people many of you homeowners out there have been getting moving from one kind of meter to another kind of meter to be able to show how much power you're using at your house. That meter is planning to be switched again to what's called a time of use meter. That's a complex way to basically say that they're going to bill you 3 different rates rather than one set rate for power at your house. And if you use it during peak hours, you're going to be charged 3 times what you're charged compared to the middle of the day. And then at nighttime, you get charged double what you would be charged in the middle of the day. So bills are projected to go up. I called Hawaiian Electric, and bills are projected to go up. If you have like a $500 bill, which is not uncommon for a multi-generational home here in Hawaii to have a $500 electric bill, your bill is projected right now to go up 270%, or 214%, excuse me, which brings it up to $1,350, $1,350. And I don't know about you guys,
wow.
but
that's a lot of money.
A lot of money. And they're already starting the first trial for this in June and July. They're opening it up and for the new time of use, but it's to help Hawaiian Electric make sure that they don't continue to have power outages and power problems during the peak hours, because they're having a really hard time producing enough power for the whole island. So I'm sure you guys are out there. Once every 6.7 days, there's a power outage somewhere here in Oahu. So normally everyone has experienced a power outage. They're trying to get rid of that and help keep the grid in supply with this new battery bonus program, where you put batteries on their house, and then those are your backup power for your home. And if you're not using those batteries on your home, that power gets sent to the neighbor next door if you're not home, so that they don't have to continue to build, right?
In a word or two, they're decentralizing where power is stored or created.
Yep. That's
and
right.
More and more of the systems are moving towards, instead of a main power facility, because it's a conflicting goal, right? You have everybody getting on PV and solar and battery, and then you have a public utility that's still required to supply energy to all of these homes, of which the subscribers are paying less and less for.
Yeah, and yeah, that's the fun fact is The
Yeah.
battery bonus program is a success out in California with California utility companies.
Uh-huh.
It's a proven concept mainland. Sometimes what happens mainland works here. Sometimes it doesn't. Hello, Mongoose. We know how that sometimes goes. But there is a proven concept with the battery bonus program. And so they are trying it here. It is highly incentivized to the percent of over half your solar system, not just your batteries, but over half your solar system can get covered through federal, state, and Hawaiian Electric incentives, which anyone who's looking to build equity in their home, get a really great return on investment for their home, it's a no-brainer to at least consider it, see if your home qualifies, and see if it is something that with the updates that makes sense for you and your family. And so we sit down with homeowners like we did with Adrian and sat down and it made sense to her. So
what's your questions people are asking? How am I going to pay for this? Because it ain't cheap. What kind of financing situations do you all have?
Well, the financing is typically the best option for if people don't have cash on hand, which about 90% of my customers don't have cash on hand. So the 90% of my customers are going to get a financed option. And as long as they have good qualifying credit of 650 and above, they can get qualified to get their high bill with Hawaiian Electric. So they'll have this high bill that kind of goes up and down. Summertimes goes up even more when the ACs come on. But then that one is consistently fluctuating. Solar, the financing option gives them a set rate over the full 25 years, which is the lifetime of the solar system, as well as the lifetime of the term for the program. And that, a lot of people ask, like, Jake, can that be transferred? Of course it can be transferred. If you're selling your home, it can be transferred. And I, of course, have talked to you guys about that. But there's both financing for ownership. There's as well leasing. And leasing is an option that didn't make a ton of sense in the past because you could finance the system for more. But now there are some real players in the game that are starting. I mean, I've been in the business of solar for years. And I'd never sold a lease because finance rates were so low, 0%. It can't go lower. But now, if a home is looking to lease or to finance, there's more options that make financial sense currently with what's going on in the climate as the federal interest rate has risen. So that's
with the leasing option, we can speak to that as far as what happens when you go to put your home on the market and you want to sell it. It's definitely a negotiating point. And you might be saving money because of like the lease versus the own, like in the immediate, but in the future, when you go to sell, it's going to leave that door open for negotiations with that.
Well, and let's bring some clarity to that. If you have, it is actually part of the disclosure of the seller's disclosure that's covered under Hawaii Revised Statute 508D as in Delta. So anything that can be determined to be considered is what's called the material fact that affects the future, past, or present value of the home has to be disclosed to the new buyers. And buyers are more savvy now, and they're asking and looking. If you have two homes, same model, one's got PV, they'll go for the one with PV. If you got the two homes, one's got an owned system and one's got a lease system, same home, they're going to go for the owned system home if everything else is comparable.
Yeah, thanks for that. A lot of my customers are asking about that, and some of them are really wanting to know because they're going to be leaving their home in 5 years, and the payoff for solar is around 6 to 7 years. Yeah. So they're like, does it make sense to finance it? Does it make sense to lease it? And what I'm hearing you say is if they're going to stay in the home for less years than what the buyout period time is or the payoff period for solar is, a finance offer is a great offer for them. Yeah.
But
so you guys also offer to bundle all of your services to create one payment, so they don't have like a big, huge out-of-pocket expense. So let's talk a little bit about what those offers are as well.
Yep. So like I said, fun fact for homeowners: 1 out of every 5 of you want solar will be told, sorry, can't do it because your roof doesn't qualify. And that's why I went with Skyta, because it's a roofing and a solar company. It's different from many of the companies here on island because many of them will subcontract out their roof. Then it's unfortunate if there's ever a leak, because guess what happens? The roofer looks at the solar guy and says, it's the solar guy's fault. Well, what does the roofer say? Roofer says the solar guy says it's the roofer's fault. And so you have this point back and forth. Well, guess who pays? The homeowner ends up paying, which is really unfortunate. And that's been the case. I've just knocked on and talked to so many homeowners, and they've said, man, I wish that there was a company that was one warranty, one contract for roof and solar. And so that's why I moved we are Hawaii's only local licensed roofing and solar contractor. Everything's in-house, one contract, one warranty, one company, which makes it really easy. If you have a problem, you call us, we fix it. If there's something that needs to be done, we fix it. So the way it works is, say your roof costs $10,000 and you're like, there's no way I can go solar. I just want to save money. Well, what we can do is we can bundle the monthly payment to where that your roof and your solar are bundled into the same payment and under the same contract, so that you're able to have one set payment and there's no out-of-pocket costs. So the way financing works for solar, if you sign today, it takes anywhere from 6 months to a year, depending on where you live and city and county. It takes about 6 months to a year to get solar installed on your house. And then your first payment starts after it's installed. So all you're doing once you sign is just waiting for all of that, all the installation paperwork to go through. And then you get it on your home and you start with a lower payment than what you were working with Hawaiian Electric. And typically I can bundle in a roof and do solar, all for less than what the customer is paying per month, which is a great win to be able to sit and talk to these aunties and uncles and families and just say, hey, no money out of pocket. You're set at a rate that you like, that you know, and try going to Hawaiian Electric and say, hey, Hawaiian Electric, can you tell me how much I'm going to spend in 25 years? How much am I going to spend? And what's my rate going to be? They can't tell you. With solar, with doing the bundle, we can tell you exactly what you're going to pay per month. And there's no out-of-pocket cost, so it doesn't hurt the wallet. You can keep your hard-earned cash in your pocket, invest it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Let your monthly payments cover that.
And you guys can bundle in the electric vehicle chargers, split air conditioners. You can bundle all that in, right?
Yep. So on our home website, in the middle of it, if you're exploring the home website, of course, it shows that we do roofing, we do solar, electric vehicles, and we as well make it to where that you guys can have the Tesla charger. If you don't have a Tesla, there's other chargers where you can plug it in right at your house. And if you got an electric vehicle and you don't have solar, man, it is time, because you know that you're paying, it's a net zero win if you don't have solar on your house and you have an electric vehicle. And we can bundle an electric vehicle charger in there, and we do all the electric work as licensed electricians, so that it's all under, once again, one contract, one company, one roof, and that's all bundled into that monthly cost that you.
And Skyta's a general contractor, so they can build a house from scratch, ground up.
Yep. So that's a huge perk too. Our guys are awesome, and they do anything start to finish. But we do, of course, find most of our work and our specialty work comes within solar, roofing, and making your home electric vehicle ready, which for you guys, maybe you could speak to it as well. If there was a home that was on market that had an electric vehicle ready home, would that be a plus to put in the packet for sale items and like perks of the home?
I would say absolutely. And there was one other thing I wanted to ask about, but I'm forgetting.
Well, here's the last question that we always ask to wrap it up is, was there any question or anything that we didn't talk about that you wanted us to talk about? And that'll be our last question.
Now I remember about the roofing, the insurance, that you guys are like experts with dealing with the roof claims. I know that we had talked about that on one of your tips of the week.
Yep.
Just being able to save the clients money on that roofing side of things. Maybe you could quickly share, and then we'll wrap it up.
Sounds great. So if you have a leaky roof right now, I would say do not pay for your roof. Don't pay anybody for your roof until we've come out and looked at what insurance can help you with. You pay insurance every month, and in this last couple weeks, there's been a ton of rain, ton of wind, and right now is a natural event where there is tons of people who have had their shingles blown off, their roofs are leaking, and they're ready to pay and need a new roof. What you can do is have us walk you through the process to where that we work hand in hand with all the major and local home insurances, and we will do the paperwork with you, help you file a claim to where you can get maximum money back if there's damages on your roof. And I had one customer, this is the fun story, they put forward home insurance claim for a leaky roof, but they said that it leaked water into the bathroom. Well, it all was because some shingles had gotten pulled up on top, and they talked about the leaky water. They got a $750 check from their insurance, and I redid the claim and got them $17,500. They got the best roof, no out-of-pocket costs. Took a couple weeks for them to process the paperwork and get the check in the mail, but that was a huge value. Who isn't happy with $17,500 in a brand new 50-year roof, top of the line? So that's what we help customers out with. We want to help them get what they need and what they deserve and help them through that process. The only thing the customer didn't know was to talk about the shingles up on top of the roof. So they accidentally disqualified themselves from the full $17,500. We're here to help customers come along with that.
Well, you guys are definitely one of the experts that we trust. You're on our website. We don't let everybody on there, and some people get kicked off and some people leave. So if you're on there, you made it through the combined football tryouts, and you made it through the NFL draft to be on our experts we trust. So if you need to get a hold of them, there's the number below, or again, go to teamlally.com, experts we trust, and you guys are right there. They can get a hold of you that way. Thanks, Jake, for being on the show.
Yeah,
There's a number.
Happy Aloha Friday.
Yeah,
Thank
happy
you,
Aloha
guys.
Friday. And I know we'll see you down the road on the radio show. Thank you.
Yep.
Sounds
Hi,
great.
Jake.
Have a great one.